What's up, guys? Welcome back. I hope you've been having a great week. It is Wednesday again for one of our podcast episodes. So for today's episode, we are interviewing a salon owner who went through almost all the phases of being a beauty service provider into finally ending up as a salon owner. But even with her all-time dream of being the salon owner, she has some challenges with figuring out if she should hire employees, how to deal with them, does it make more sense to rent versus work on commission, and all the heartaches that come with having all the extra bills and responsibilities with being a business owner versus renting your little space or working for somebody else. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. Oh, one more thing that's really special about Leelo is that she is also she has started and is growing her grief counseling that she's running right out of her business, right out of her salon. So during COVID, she had a big loss, and this triggered her to make a decision. Am I gonna either shut down and pretty much quit life in a way, or am I gonna do something about it and find a way to put myself back together and move forward? And with that, she made the choice to run a grief counseling support group that helped herself and many other within her community. So it's really inspiring to have people like that, even to hear stories and to know that our lives are in our control, and even in the worst situations we can choose to turn it into a more positive outcome. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope that you get some inspiration and motivation from Leelo. Hey beauty lovers and fellow entrepreneurs, I'm Yegi, the owner and founder of Yegi Beauty. Within 5 years of being my own boss, I was able to grow Yegi Beauty into a multi-million-dollar company. This podcast is where I share what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur in the beauty industry. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Yegi Project. Today's guest is Leelo, who is a hairstylist and a salon owner. Can you please tell us a little bit about you? So who is Leelo? What do you do? And then where are you based out of?
Perfect. Hi guys, I'm Leelo. My real name is Lisa, but everyone knows me as Leelo. I consider that my artist name.
I love it.
It's been around for many years now. I'm a hairstylist. It's been about 10 years now, and 2 years ago I opened up my own salon, and it's been going great. And yeah, I'm excited to see what the future holds.
Awesome. Well, that's already a big milestone, opening your own salon. Now,
Thank you.
hearing a little bit about your story before the interview, you did face some struggles or some problems along the way in your career just because of some personal things, COVID and all that. Can you share a little bit with our listeners? What was your biggest challenge with going from being a hairstylist to wanting to open your own salon?
So, I always knew I wanted to have my own business, be my own boss, but sometimes life took different directions. I was working out of hair salons, and I was renting chairs, working on salary. And so, right before COVID, I took the opportunity and rented my chair out of my cousin's salon. So unfortunately, a year into COVID, she closed. So I was gonna go rent. I had found another salon where I was gonna go rent again, and unfortunately, the same day that I was gonna move, they decided to tell me that they're gonna close as well. So I took that as
Oh
a
my
sign.
goodness.
Yeah, and so my husband had told me about this place that his barber recommended for me to go check out. And when all that happened, I said, okay, what do I have to lose? Let me go see this place. And there was a lot of potential. And 2 years later, it's been going great since I opened. So that was meant to happen.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
that's exciting. Isn't that crazy how sometimes life's like misfortunes where we feel like, oh my God, why is this not working out? It's actually a sign for us to do something different. There's a reason why something's not working out.
Yes.
It's pushing us to do what's probably better.
Yeah, I was tired of being always let down by everyone. So I'm like, okay, it's time to, you know, be my own boss.
So being your own boss and really like having the responsibility of owning and running a salon, I've been there and I know how many challenges that comes with. But from your point of view, what's the main pros and cons for you renting a chair and kind of doing your own thing like that versus having your own salon? How has the change been?
First thing I can think of is bills, having more bills, being an actual owner. Um, you're always, your number one priority is to make your bills every month versus renting a chair. You just have your chair rental and your products to worry to think about, you know? So that's what I would say is like the biggest challenge. But you have to have the clientele if you want to open up your own place, especially nowadays after COVID. People tend to be more on the safe side and stay where they are. So if you are going to go on your own, just make sure you have the clientele first. Build the clientele.
Yes, I feel like that's always the biggest challenge too, is to really like have your loyal client base that you know will follow you no matter where you go.
Yeah.
Now, as far as some of the pros, what has been the most exciting part about owning your own business or your own salon versus working for a different salon?
Um, that's an easy question. I mean, being your own boss, you make your own rules. You don't answer to anybody. Um, yes, it's hard to balance work and life because when I first opened, I mean, I was putting in 10 to 12 hours a shift, but now I do a lot less. I've learned throughout the years and I'm still learning to try to balance work and life. It's not easy because I can come home after work and this is nonstop, you know, on the phone.
Yeah, you're
And
always working even when you're not working. So what does your typical day look like? So if we were to kind of dive into a day of your life, what would that day look like?
my days off are pretty simple. I have a good sit down breakfast and I head to the gym with the husband, and then I run the errands. So that could take up most of the day. And then I still work almost every day. I'm on the phone creating content, organizing, working on my Instagram, answering clients because I have other projects on the side as well. So those take up a lot of time. And then on my work days, well, I like to go in a little bit early to make sure that the salon is ready to go for the day. I could take between 5 to 7 clients a day, and which I'm trying to keep it at like 4 or 5 max now. Speaking of balance.
You don't want to burn out.
Yes, because I was realizing that it was a lot to take, um, and then I would come home and take a couple hours to be on the phone again, and
Yes, that's the fun part about being an entrepreneur. You never really get a break, but it's fun, you know.
yeah,
You're doing it willingly. So nobody's really making you,
exactly.
so we don't
And you
mind.
learn along the way how to balance, right?
Yes. Now, as far as actually going through the process of, you know, taking that leap of faith of opening, did you have any hesitation or what were some fears and doubts that you had? Because I know a lot of people that might be in that position, they do get a lot of fears and doubts, and that kind of holds them back. But can you share your story a little bit of how it all happened?
Um, so it started with I have two cousins that are hairdressers, so I was interested when they got I looked up to them as my big cousins.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So I was mostly self-taught from YouTube. I had a mannequin and I would practice all the time. Also on friends and family, but I also did a lot of collaborations and networking. So to start off, I think it's really important to be consistent with. I was constantly posting on Facebook, you know, those groups, the beauty groups or like public groups, to try to advertise my business, add pictures, and that's how I slowly started getting my clientele. And
Oh, wow. Okay.
so I was working at my cousin's salon, and then I opened up a little studio before my current salon, but that unfortunately lasted a couple months. So I had to close it down, and that's when I went to work at a salon. And then, so I've moved quite a bit, but luckily I've always stayed within the same area, so clients didn't mind following me.
Nice.
I didn't move super far. So, um, but yeah, I mean, it's a lot of trial and error, right?
To really find your place, even
Exactly.
within one thing you're doing. It sounds like even though you've been mainly doing hair, you still had to do so much trial and error to really just find your
Oh,
home,
yeah.
which now is your own salon, and
Yeah.
it's exciting.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, do you have other employees that report to you?
I have an independent hairdresser who rents her chair, and I do have two other chairs available. So right now I'm like in the middle of deciding if
Growing
I
phase.
want, yeah, if I want to hire. I used to have an assistant, um, and so knowing how it is to have an employee, I'm still trying to decide what's best for the salon.
Well, actually, yeah, that's a great point, and I think our listeners can really benefit from that because having employees and the help also comes with its own challenges. So not only the cost wise, but everything else that goes with it. Can you share your experience a little bit with that and why you're kind of on the fence of should I hire? Do I need someone, or is it better for me to do stuff on my own? Being brutally honest, because
Every
we
day,
all go through
every
those
day.
challenges.
Yep, every day it's a different thought process. One day I'll be like, okay, no, it's easier, it's less stressful to just get a chair rental. Then I'm like, oh no, but then, I could be making more if I hired people and there's more potential. Every day it's a different thought process to try to see what's best for the salon in the long run, because sometimes I think if I hire someone, I would like to train them, but you can never have someone that's going to work exactly like you do. So that's, I think, the most challenging, especially nowadays. It's, I think, from what I hear through other people that have businesses, I think it's pretty much the same, that it's really hard to hire nowadays, really hardworking people. So,
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's still really good quality people out there, but the culture, I think that's kind of an interesting topic to like. That has nothing to do with this podcast, but it's an interesting topic to kind of think about too. I think just the culture overall, is changing. Like people want to have the more balanced, more happy like life, but I
yeah,
think some people are not doing it the right way. So they end up
I
being
agree.
not lazy, but they end up not wanting to work hard. They think that they can still have the best life without putting any work into it. But the
Exactly.
reality of
And
it is, that's not it. Like, yes, we want to have the fun life and the balanced life, but you still need to put in the work, at least,
exactly. Yeah.
somewhat before you can have that. Or,
Yeah. I
yeah.
didn't get to where I am by not working. I mean, not putting in the hours, and
Yeah.
unfortunately I speak to a lot of hairdressers that are starting off, and this is for most of them I'm talking about. They assume that they're going to make that same income that hairdressers that have been doing this for many years right from the start, and unfortunately that's not right, that's not it. You
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
be
Very true.
patient and work hard. But that's, I try to educate as much as I can. That's why if I do hire, it'll be girls from straight out of hair school. So that way I love to teach, so I want to give the chance that I didn't get. So
Oh, that's great. Well, I'm sure a lot of the students out of school fresh will super appreciate that, 'cause that's the hardest, to find the place when you're
thank you.
fresh out of school. So that's a great opportunity for you too, as well. And
Yeah.
for the future student who gets to work with you. Now, I was also very intrigued by your support group that you started out of your salon. Do you mind sharing a little bit
Yeah.
out of about that? Because I think again, that's out of the box thinking. And you had a salon, so you were like, okay, I can use this space for something great, to help other people as well. So can you share how that came about?
Yes, of course. I love sharing this. All I want to do is share about this and grow it. I started about a year ago. Well, August of 2021, I lost my mother, and 3 days later, my closest cousin. So that put me in a very dark
I'm so
place, and
sorry.
thank you. And so the more, when you get involved in something, the more you learn about it. So I,
Mm-hmm.
I started talking to people and opening up more and hearing stories of other people. And finding the right therapist can cost a lot of money. And I know a lot of people who wish they were seeing therapists but couldn't afford it. So I said, you know what, I have the place. I'm going to start support groups. And it started off with about the average uh, people that come is around 8. um,
Wow, that's still a
but
great size.
yes, and it's once a month out of the salon on a Friday evening, and I've met some amazing strong women, and I we've become like family. I consider that we're all super close friends now, and some
Oh,
of them are my clients as well. And
that's
I recently,
awesome.
thank you. And I recently posted on Facebook, the city group, and I got a lot of people, a lot of women who are interested to join the next one. So I'm expecting a lot of new faces.
Wow, what a change. I mean,
Yeah.
to take
Yeah.
something that hurts so much and project it in a positive way where you're not only seeking and getting help for yourself, but also like the community. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
It did
Honestly,
help. It does help me
it
too.
gave
Yeah.
me goosebumps. It's amazing that you can kind of put that out there because, we always get two
Thank
choices of how we handle a situation. Like we can either really like go in a very dark place when something horrible happens, or we can find a way to deal with it. And that's kind of what you did. I'm sure, everybody grieves and we all could get in a dark place, but you at some point you decided, okay, I'm gonna
Oh,
do
I
something
definitely
about it.
did, but yeah,
So
with a
props
lot
to
of
you
good
on
support.
that. And I'm sure a lot of our listeners who
Thank
do
you.
need that support. And can you tell us a little bit about your location? Where are you located out of?
Yes, so I don't know if you mentioned this already, but I'm in Canada. I'm in Montreal, Laval to be exact.
Awesome.
I wish I was there in person, but
Well, no, we
one
connect
day I'll
all
come.
over the world, and it's so funny. Lately, I've been
I
connecting
love that.
more and more with people in Canada. I'm like, I need to make a trip out to Canada to meet all these beautiful people in person.
You're welcome at my salon anytime, any day. You're
Oh, thank
welcome.
you. I will save your contact. We'll link the details below, so if anybody is
Yeah,
nearby and they can physically come and be there with you, they will.
because I'm limited in my salon. For now, it's female only, but I have bigger plans for it, and yeah, we'll see where it goes. It's been a year now that I'm doing this, and it's only growing slowly but surely.
So, what's your favorite part about the support groups for you hosting it? Not
Connecting,
necessarily the benefit you get from it for yourself, but for you hosting it.
knowing that hearing these women open up, you can tell that they need to speak up, speak about it, and whether they've lost someone 30 years ago or a year ago, just knowing that connecting with these women means a lot, and yeah, just giving them that safe space to open up
Yes,
and
just being part
talk.
of
There
their.
are a few tears, but it's a very positive vibe. So
Wow, I love that. I love that so much. It's inspiring me to want to do something. I'm like, I have the location too. How can I help people? It's very inspiring hearing women who are out there helping and, other women especially because sometimes,
thank
you know, having that intimate connection with somebody that's going through something similar can mean the world, right? Just even talking about it and having somebody relate to
Yeah.
you. But yeah, awesome. So, okay. Now, my next question to you is this kind of a fun one. So, if you had a magic wand and you can change anything in the world, what would it be? And it doesn't have to be, a very like everything that we all want. Like not world peace, obviously we want that.
Okay, so this is not like a pageant
No,
question,
no,
right?
no. This could be personal to you, you know? You can wish for everybody to have
Okay,
perfect
if
hair.
oh my gosh, if I can have yeah, someone do my hair every day, I would love that. But so the first thing that came to my mind, now, not going on the serious side, obviously there's so much that we can change, right? But it would probably be changing up my car every time I want
Oh,
to
I
drive a
love
different car.
that.
Just
I
I
love
love
that. That's
cars,
the
and I
first
just
time
wish
I
I could
hear
like
that one.
whatever car I want.
I love that. I love cars, honestly, and I love sports cars. So I totally could see that. It's like, oh, give me a different one. Let me just race down and experience it. I love that. I never had that answer before. Did you ever live anywhere else, or have you always lived in Canada?
Yes, I lived in LA 6 years. So I
Oh,
only
wow.
moved back. I was born here. Yeah, I moved back here in 2010. So I was in LA 6 years, and then another 6 years before that, I lived in Puerto Rico. So
Wow.
I was 10 years old when I moved to Puerto Rico. Yeah.
Wow, how fun. Okay, so here's out of the again topic question because it's just interesting, I think, for me and for
Oh,
the
ask
listeners.
away.
So you lived in, let's say, at least these three that now I know of: Puerto Rico, Canada, and LA. So, what was the different cultures or culture shocks for you between the three different places that you would say? What was different?
Well, Canada and LA, it's pretty much just, I would say, like the fast-paced life.
Okay.
Compared to Puerto Rico, they're very laid back. It's really that island life. So as a kid, you don't see that, but as an adult, like my parents had to have a lot of patience because their life is a party. So every day, even whether it's like a business office, government office, they take things very chill. So you have to have
I
a lot of
love
patience because
it.
it's a very slow life. Yeah, which is good, right? That's why they're all happy. Like islanders, they're always more happy compared to like our fast-paced life that we have
Hmm.
here. It's
I know it's
but
such a give and
I
take.
mean, I love the American no, you may disagree, but if seeing the difference, I love the American customer service is so much better.
Well, would you say, oh, how about for your business? Because, like, I always talk about how customer service is so important because I think from my experience and my clientele, like, literally, I think half of my clientele loved working with me just because of the service. Like, not even the professional service I was providing them, but just the niceness of customer service. So, what would you say
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
how does that affect your business in your experience?
Oh, yeah, I agree. Kindness goes a long way because you know, people think like sometimes hairdressers think clients don't pay attention to detail, but even grabbing their coat and hanging it for them, or offering them the coffee, or any drink, it's those little details that make them feel like a queen and make them feel
Yeah.
appreciated and seen. They're not just there to help you make money and get out. So
Yes.
even though I built a great relationship and mostly friendship with my clients, I still have a sense of professionalism always. And to me, that's really important.
Yes, I definitely have to agree with that one. I also know that when you initially opened your salon, something very unfortunate happened, and that was kind of disappointing and discouraging. Can you please share that story with our listeners?
Yes. So at first, when it initially happened, I didn't share this on through social media because I was afraid that it would make people scared to come. But
Mm-hmm.
then I came to realize that wherever you are, it could happen, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it was 3 weeks into me opening up the salon, that I finally announced it on my Instagram page. And in the morning, I announced it, and then at night, while I was still there with a client, we heard a big bang, and um,
Oh my gosh.
it was someone or some people that threw a cement brick at my window and shattered the whole glass. So that was very
Oh
disappointing. I
my
was very
gosh.
shocked. Obviously, as you can imagine, I had PTSD going into work the months afterwards, thinking that it could happen, they could do it again. So yeah,
Especially
and it
that you
cost
were
a lot of
there
money.
with the client. Yeah, how
I'm
traumatizing.
lucky enough that she still kept on coming. She's still a client of mine. But it took me a long time to finally open up about it and talk about it on social media.
How
Um,
horrible, right?
yeah, but unfortunately, you're gonna, some people don't like to see
Yeah, it's part of life.
succeed. Yeah. There's a lot of hate, unfortunately. As much as there's a lot of support, I have some of my closest friends are also hairdressers, or makeup artists, but unfortunately, there's always going to be competition from other people. And yeah, so, but I didn't let that stop me. If they thought
So
that that was going to make me close,
scare you
they
off.
thought wrong.
Well,
Yeah.
you showed them 2 years
Right?
and you're still going strong.
Yes.
Honestly, I'm happy you share that because again, it's something that could stop somebody or discourage somebody and really scare them off in a way where like, well, maybe this is not right for me. But I always think of like things that happen that are negative. I always think of those kind of like as tests. Like, is this is the world's way of testing us? Is this
Mm-hmm.
something you really want? Are you gonna stick it out and not let anything get in your way? Or are you gonna let like something get in your way? So anytime
Exactly.
that we kind of push through it, it definitely makes us so much stronger. And um, I'm glad you're a living example of that.
Yeah, I love that you asked about that.
Yes, and I'm proud of you for speaking about it, because it's sometimes hard
Thank
to
you.
speak about negative things too. Everybody tries to keep everything super positive all the time, but that's not reality. That's not
Oh,
life. Like, we
my
all
Instagram
go through
is
it.
not always positive.
Okay, I love it. I'm gonna check it out more. Honestly, I don't spend too much time scrolling, but I'm gonna check it out. I love real people. I'm over seeing
Thank you.
perfect pages and beautiful photos. Like I'm over
Oh
that.
yeah,
I
my feed is far from perfect. Yeah.
wanna. I love it.
It's
Now
not
you
it's
said,
not aesthetically pleasing.
yeah, I think we're over that, right? We're over that phase. I mean, it's still nice to look at nice things, but I think overall,
Yes.
we're
Everyone
over
has
just.
different tastes.
Yes, yes. One last question for you before we close. So, going into 2023, what are some of your goals with your business and also your support group that you're working on?
As we mentioned, like about the hiring process, I really my how what I envision for this year is having 1 to 2 girls working for me, growing the team. My Instagram is very important because I do get a lot of new clientele from there. So to me, my growing my social media platform is always gonna be, uh,
One of the priorities.
exactly. I do network still a lot. I'm involved in some groups full of female entrepreneurs. So that's something new that's going to help me also get my foot in the right doors and meet the right people. But yeah, and
I
with the
love that.
support group, thank you. I just want to get the word out there more and more for the support group and grow it. Eventually, maybe not do it at my salon because I'm limited in space. Um, and I did recently start a live podcast on Wednesdays, but that's very new for me. So, um, hoping to stay consistent on that.
I know, I could relate. I had somewhat started a live, kind of like a questionnaire on Mondays, but I had a lot going on and it's been not consistent at all.
It's
So
a lot.
we're all
Sometimes I'm like,
always working.
what did I do this weekly commitment? I'm like I don't have enough on my plate, you know?
Yes, but we're always trying it to grow and work on ourselves. So I think the human side of it is that's good. At least we're trying, right? We're ahead of the
Yeah,
people that don't even try at all.
exactly.
So as long
Exactly.
as we're trying, like for me, I'm happy about it as long as I'm at least trying and figuring out how to get to my goal.
Exactly.
Well, we're almost out of time, so I want to close the podcast with a little bit of your advice and your last words of encouragement for our listeners who kind of want to go on that journey and open up their own businesses.
I'm a big believer in manifesting, but you gotta put in the work. So be consistent. Don't give up too fast. Don't be discouraged, and start by collaborating and build your clientele slowly but surely. Yeah, that's the best
Awesome.
advice I can give.
Awesome. Manifest and work hard.
Yes, you can't just manifest and expect it to come.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for your time and your sharing all your awesome advice
Thank
and
you.
story and words of wisdom with
Thank
our
you.
listeners. I'm sure everybody listening can get a lot of takeaways from even just listening to our interview with you.
If
So I
anyone
do
has more
appreciate your
questions,
time.
I'm I'm available.
Yes, and we will link all her information below. And maybe tell our listeners where can they find you on Instagram and Facebook since that's where you're most active.
Yeah, on Instagram, it's at LeelosGlam. I'm mostly on there. So I do have other pages, scalpspa.ca, but Leelo's Glam is the best way to reach me.
Awesome. Well, make sure you guys check her out and we'll link all her information below. And I look forward to seeing your progress and hopefully connecting
Thank
with you soon
you.
again.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening. Please rate and review this podcast. Follow and engage with us on social media under the Yegi Project. And if you're interested in being a guest, email info@theyegiproject.com. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes.